Goody, goody, everyone. This is Dayhawk bringing to you episode 42 of Shaman King 2021. This episode has to be one of the most... It has the most kills than any other so far in Shaman King, because it had the most kills in one episode. And it's a lot of shockers, and it really feels like we're getting closer and closer to the series finale of Shaman King. Same way I felt when watching the Gate of Babylon back in the old one, Shaman King, which I posted at least 2 videos already. I'm working on overdrive here. Because believe it or not, these 2 versions of Shaman King are close to finishing. I know, it's eerie, don't you think? With one version is we're already headed towards the Gate of Babylon part, and now here we're getting closer to seeing Yo and his 4 other friends become the 5 elemental warriors. And I don't know how this version is going to end. Hopefully I would enjoy it, but I don't know, something in the back of my mind is telling me otherwise. Hopefully my feelings, my instincts are wrong on this one, but I don't know, man. I don't know. But it starts off with, where we left off. Yo versus Yohken, and this is pretty much a short match, nothing too over dramatic. We get to see Yohken summon a demon, and we see Montemone just going up a ghost train and say, "Oh, I have to go," Too bad he didn't even witness, the outcome, but he had to go. So we get to see Yohken and Yo having this showdown, and Yohken decides to use that's the same power that he used against Hal 500 years ago. And you get to see Yo face this method, this move, and the demon uses the special knives and ends up throwing them at Yo, which he successfully repelled against, and uses his ultimate attack to destroy the demon and defeats his ancestor. And Yo was like, "All I want is to talk to you. You're my ancestor. Can we just talk? That's all I want." And meanwhile, back in the world of the living, the leader of Grand Hara is trying to explain this whole situation with the 5 warriors to Ryu and Faust, and she is saying that we need to start preparing for the 5 warriors, because they're desperate right now. And she feels that with the 5, with their elemental spirits, they could defeat Hal in some way. But Ryu pointed out like, wait a minute, how has one of the 5 elemental spirits, how is that going to work out? Well, the leader explained that Hao is going to be in a deep sleep, and with that, the spirit of fire will no longer be a part of Hao's group. So that means the spirit of fire is going to be without a master, and so it will be ripe for the taking, as well as the other 4. But next thing you know, one of the patch members, Namari, appears and just points out that, what is it that I hear, that you're going to steal the elemental spirits? That's a big no-no. But he's not going to do anything because supposedly he's all neutral. And he goes on to saying that X-Laws 2 no longer exist, so there will be other groups fighting in their place. And Lyserg is like, I mean, not Lyserg, Ryu's like, what you mean that they don't exist? What happened? Did it have to do with the beam of light we just saw? But before he would get an answer, Team Moon appears. And again, the patch member doesn't do anything. He just leaves. Yeah. And so one of the members of Team Moon is provoking Ryu that Lyserg is gone, he is dead, along with Marco and Manta and the others. And for whatever reason, Ryu tried to attack him, but the leader of Grand Hara went in between them, telling Ryu that you cannot kill, even when provoked, you cannot kill. Unfortunately for her, she was impaled, and so she's gone. She's dead. And she is the only one who can bring Io back from the dead. So that's going to be a huge problem. Meanwhile, back in hell, Yo and Yohken had a moment, and it's just the idea of meeting your descendants. It's surreal. He even said so. And this is the weird part too. Yohken asked, "Do you have any children?" And Yo turns red. He's so shy. But here's the thing. This scene, even though it's funny, he's like 12, 13 years old. I mean, for someone to ask a 13-year-old that if he has any kids, I mean, to me, that was kind of weird. It's so weird, and Amir Morrow just had to step in and he's whatever he said. Like, I could already imagine the whole thing about he's still a virgin. He's 13, so I mean, it's funny, but it's awkward at the same time. I don't know. What do you guys think about that scene? I don't know. I just find it so freaking weird. But it's funny to see Yo turning red and just rolling up and down, just like, but nah. You're 13 years old, man. You're 13. And so Yohken is talking about, I forgot what it was, but it was conversation about defeating Hao, and um, mentions that there's only two options. Option one is to destroy Hao's soul, that way he can't resurrect anymore. Or there's always the second option, which we don't know yet. If 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 they have, then I must have forgotten. But as of right now, I don't know what option 2 is. But Yo is going to go with the second option. And so Yohken further explains of how yeah, it's hard because it further explains more about how he created the original family crust. So it's like the symbol of a star, and it's just the mark of the Omi Odo, the mystic science. So as you know, it represents the star itself represents the elements. And he also reinvented the Asakura family, that sort of thing, and further explains, the symbol and all that. But there's one thing that Yohken explains too, that maybe tells you that maybe you're the key to you're the key to Hal's heart, to calm him down and maybe change his ways. But here's the problem with that, which I believe that I fear about the ending. Hal killed so many people, and for him to become Shaman King and maybe be as Shaman King, it's just, I don't know, I feel like they're giving him the title to something that he doesn't really have a right to after everything he has done. And just like for Yohken to say that Yo may be the key to changing Hal's heart, it's just I don't know. I'm starting to be concerned about that, but we'll see. This is just my opinions, my concerns about what may happen. But yeah, I'm not. But as Yohken was talking, the first shocker starts, because he was talking and then all of a sudden Yohken is been killed off, because you see he's been hammered, and unfortunately later on, if a soul gets killed like what happened with Yohken, the soul is destroyed. There's no way of getting the soul back or anything else. The soul is destroyed, because this one of those what's it called, one of the demons, those super demons, appears, and you see Yo being devastated. He's not shedding a tear, but you could see in this particular scene that he is crushed, and he is gonna go dark side on the demon. So he ends up slicing the demon's arms off and ends up destroying the demon all at once. Because supposedly after slicing one arm, the demon's like, wait, hold on. There is a way to bring the soul back, but it was all a lie. So Yo destroys it, but all of a sudden Yo gets shot by an arrow, and it turns out that he is surrounded by upper level demons. And so Yo's gonna be one against how many demons, but he will stand firm, and as long as I have breath, I'm gonna go out there and survive. So the leader of Grand Hara has been killed. Yohken's soul has been destroyed, and it leads to this scene with Team Ren. And there is this awkward moment between those three in the spa, because Ren is upset at the fact that Horo has kept his secrets, and I'm sure he's upset too with Choco Love and the whole 5 warriors thing. So he's upset that his own teammates were keeping these secrets from him. And I don't blame him. I don't blame him for getting pissed off. And so the 3 members of Grand Hara just appeared out of nowhere with towels and all that, and they appeared to be the answer to all their questions involving the 5 warriors. And of course, they need to die in order to do so, which they have. And Ren appears in his own hell naked, as well as at least Horo has his towel. and Lyserg appears in hell as well. So something tells me the twin brother has succeeded in killing everybody in that car. And poor Lyserg, he's getting his ass whipped by this upper level demon. And not only that, he gets his arm sliced off by this particular demon. Here's the thing. If it were 01 Lyserg, then I would have enjoyed it. If you guys have been listening to my 01 videos, then you know how I feel about 01 Lyserg. But for 2021 Lyserg, it's just, oh man, that was brutal. But the boys will discover that if you have a strong will, you will will something to appear. But they will. I'm sure either by themselves or from help. And so poor Lyserg is getting his arm chopped off. And then poor Choco Love is back in hell again. Back at the gate where he started the first time. And you get to see, oh man. This scene is funny because the 3 members killed off Team Ren, but you get to see their corpses. Horo's body is face down. Choco Love looks like he was trying to escape the water, and Ren looks like he drowned. So it's I don't know, the way they gotten killed off is so weird. I mean, look at it. Look. Anyway, so Chocolove and Oppa-san had this little talk, and next thing you know, Oppa-san appears in his human form. And he was talking about how he met Hal many years ago as well. I'm not completely sure that Hal killed him. I don't remember if he said that, but he said about the first time he met Hal that he felt something off about him, something evil, and he knew that this is not gonna it's not gonna be too good to be around him. So even Oppa-san, knew about Hal, and he was no good. Apparently, Hal went from Japan to South America. I wonder why, but we all know what I'm sure he went there for. Anyways, Oppa-san said that Chocolove needs to go further down into the pits of hell in order to go on his trial, which I thought he already did when he was killed the first time, but I was wrong. So Oppa-san throws him in the pits of hell, and then you see him looking at the sky, and you see the train, the same ghost train that Masamune went inside, and apparently Oppa-san knows of Masamune. So, apparently everybody knows Masamune. Everybody knows him. So he said to take care of the other two, and the scene ends. Meanwhile, back in the world of the living, Manta and Tamayo and her spirits are alive, and they managed to escape before the explosion. But you see in the next scene, Marco, Lyserg, and Lady Jeanne are down. We all know that Lyserg is dead, and he's in his personal hell. I'm not sure about Jeanne and Marco. And Tamayo tried to protect the bodies from this evil twin brother of Team Nile, but she got caught, and Manta tried to go in, but he gets kicked in the face, and he unleashes his oversoul on poor Tamayo, and before she gets killed, Michael appears and destroys the Sphinx, so Marco's alive. And next thing you know, that wound, that shot, has been healed thanks to Shamash's kiss. So he is revived, and he gained new power, new strength, because as we all know, if you're in the border of death and you manage to get revived, then you get even more powerful. And so he managed to defeat the evil brother. Unfortunately, as Marco was about to finish him off, Hal appears, and Marco gets beaten up, and Hal mentions about the leader Gran Hara, and how she was the only one who can revive people, but he tells Marco that she is dead, and said something quite shocking, that apparently Faust also knows how to resurrect people due to some kind of magic. I'm sure it was Anna who taught him how to use a particular spell. And so Hal thinks that Faust is already dead because Team Moon is already over there. And so Hal thinks that he's already won because the people who have the power to resurrect, like John, Lyserg, Yo, and I'm sure anybody else. Oh yeah, Ren, Chocolove, and the others. It's gone. Faust is gone. We all know he's not, but he assumes that all those key players are gone for good. And so nothing will stand in the way of the Star Festival and, of course, him becoming Shaman King. But as Marco was about to get killed by Hal, he musters up the strength to take the car which has Lyserg and Lady Jeanne inside, and what remains of his Furyoku, he's gonna go, like, the car is gonna go somewhere. We don't know where. Maybe, possibly where Faust is. I don't know. Could be, but I don't know yet. But this could be the last time we'll see Marco, because I'm sure in the next episode we're gonna see either Marco being dead already or taking his final stand against Hal. So I'm telling you, this episode feels like we're heading towards the end, and yeah. This episode was pretty good. It was the battle was between Yohken and Yo was The whole thing about Yo having kids is just so weird. It's just he's a 13-year-old, for God's sakes. And just what threw me away was the latest deaths. With the leader Grand Horror being killed. Yoken's soul is destroyed. And of course, Team Ren and Lyserg and maybe even John is dead. But of course they will be brought back. So it's just all these deaths in one episode. But we're close to the end. So I can't wait until the end, and hopefully my instincts are wrong about the ending, but we'll see, So what do you think about the episode? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Let me know. Just write in the comments below. Give a like if you like it. Give a dislike if you don't. And subscribe. And I will see you all on the other side of oblivion. Johnny!